Nice. So, you're not going to get a grand introduction. You're not going to get a magical welcome to, no, it's just a conversation amongst friends. As we were talking prior to the cameras rolling, the biggest thing from my perspective, as I've entered into the recruiting world, is to make sure that the information is available. There's not enough kids that really, or not enough avenues for guys to truly understand the recruiting process and understand what it is they need to see from, or coach needs to see from them, or what it is they need to do to be prepared, to get recruited. I think it's a guessing game, and a lot of kids attack it that way. So, to have an expert, and I fashion myself as an expert. I say it all the time. I'm like, hey, I'm a recruiting maven. I'm an expert. But to have somebody that's done it on a high level and done it successfully in yourself, I mean, I'm blessed to be sitting here having this conversation. So I'm excited. So what I'll say first, I want you to introduce yourself to, which camera is he introducing himself to? This one? Introduce yourself to the people that are watching, and let them get to know you a little bit, and then we'll dive into some of the questions that families typically have about the recruiting process.
First of all, thanks for having me. I'm Ulric Maligi. I've coached college basketball for 13 years. I've made various stops at Texas A&M, SMU, University of Houston, Stephen F. Austin, and also University of Texas at Arlington. And so originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, moved to Dallas when I was 14, coached AAU basketball for 4 years, and also started my college basketball dream as a head manager at Howard University. Then was blessed to have my first job opportunity in college basketball at 21. I was the youngest Division I coach in the country and took a job at UTA back at home. So
I was going to touch on that. Being the youngest in college basketball, what type of responsibility or what type of pressure did that put on you to perform, and how have you consistently reached those expectations or exceeded those expectations to keep you at a high level? Because a lot of guys, and I talk to guys that are looking for internships or externships, or looking for they want to do grad assistantships and things like that, and they're 23, 24, 25. So to be a 21-year-old assistant coach, talk to me a little bit about what that was like, and managing through the expectations that were set on you, and how did you make that work for you?
Well, honestly, man, I told Scott Cross not to hire me. I had several Big 12 schools that had talked to me about being a grad assistant. And he was actually the youngest Division I coach in the country. I think he was 30. And I was just like, man, we're going to have the youngest staff in the country. Like, this is your first job. I've always looked up to him, but he always told me, if I get a job, I'm going to hire you. And so, when the opportunity was presented to me, I really had cold feet, and was just nervous that I wouldn't be able to be a quote unquote college coach. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just so much that I would have to learn, not thinking that it was just still the game of basketball. And so the recruiting part, just because of my contacts and relationships, was a little easier than the basketball part. Probably a big part just because half the team was older than me. So, but as I got, more and more comfortable, and with the job, I think it's like anything, I just think I kind of found my niche, and I think recruiting, a lot of it just goes back to people trusting you. They like you and trust you. It's sales, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think if you do right by people and then they trust you, they trust you with their kid to be able to take care of them, develop them as a player and as a young man. And so I've been blessed to be to coach and recruit some really good kids over the years.